Beginning. The prank that went wrong. The observation deck of the Starliner Elysium Horizon was usually quiet, a place for the elite passengers to watch the glittering stars of the Andromeda cluster drift by. Today, however, it was bustling with students from the Galactic Academy, cadets assigned to the interstellar diplomacy program. Among them was Tira'Lyn, a mischievous young alien from the planet Violix, her sapphire blue hair glowing faintly in the ambient lights of the deck. She leaned against the railing, eyes scanning for her target, a human named Elias Kael, who sat quietly, scribbling equations in a small holo notebook. Elias had come from Earth, a planet considered insignificant by most galactic standards. But his mind was sharp, and Tira'Lyn had been assigned to be his buddy for the program. Not because she was gentle, far from it. She had a reputation for pranks, chaos, and mild disaster. Today, she planned her greatest prank yet. She slid into the seat beside him, her tail flicking lightly against the floor. "Mind if I?" she asked, pretending innocence. Elias looked up, startled. Oh sure. Go ahead." Tira'Lyn grinned. Beneath her seat, she had secretly activated a small device, a vibration module calibrated to emit harmless pulses. The plan was simple: a little shock, a little scream, some laughter. Easy. But the moment she pressed the activation button, the entire deck shuddered. Warning lights flashed across the ship's consoles. A low, resonant hum filled the air, a hum that vibrated through metal, bone, and alien flesh alike. Elias's eyes widened. "Tira, what did you do?" Tira'Lyn froze. The hum was growing louder. It wasn't just the deck, it was the entire Starliner. Panels blinked red. Crew members ran to the control consoles, shouting in a dozen different languages. And then the holographic display lit up. Warning: ancient containment field breach. Entity: Kalrath Prime activated. Middle: the entity awakens. Kalrath Prime was a legend or a nightmare, depending on who told the story. For centuries, it had been sealed in the crystalline tomb of rock, a containment station built to hold something the galaxy feared even mentioning. Rumor said it was a conscious superenergy entity, capable of bending space, minds, and matter to its will. And now, thanks to Tira'Lyn's prank, it was awake. "Why is it targeting us?" Elias shouted over the rising alarms. Tira'Lyn's glowing eyes widened. I just pressed a button." The observation deck rippled. The stars outside seemed to bend inward, drawn toward the hull. A shadow appeared, massive, impossibly large, shimmering like a storm condensed into pure energy. The students screamed. Kalrath Prime spoke, not in words, but in thought, blasting into every mind on the deck simultaneously. "Who disturbs the prison?" Elias and Tira'Lyn clutched their heads, nearly falling to the floor. Around them, the other cadets writhed in panic, their thoughts assaulted by the entity. Tira'Lyn's tail flicked furiously. We need to shut it down." "Shut it down? How?" Elias asked, shaking. "We don't even know the controls." She looked at him, desperation in her glowing eyes. "The controls are mental. You have to sync your mind with the containment field interface." Elias blinked. "Sync my mind? With an alien supercomputer entity?" "Yes," she yelled. "Do it or we die." Middle 2, the sync. The containment console hovered in the middle of the deck, a crystalline structure pulsing with raw energy. A faint blue glow surrounded it, and projections of equations, symbols, and alien runes floated in the air. "Focus," Tira'Lyn said, crouching beside him. "Clear your mind, and just think with it. Let it flow into you. Trust yourself." Elias took a shaky breath. He closed his eyes, feeling the pulse in the deck, the hum of Kalrath Prime's energy, the resonance of the containment field. He reached out with his mind, something he never knew he could do. Tira'Lyn mirrored him, her thoughts weaving around his. Slowly, painfully, a connection formed. The projections on the console bent toward them, responding to their joint focus. Kalrath Prime roared in thought, shaking the deck violently. "Who dares control me?" Tira'Lyn growled. "We dare. You stay in your cage, or the galaxy burns." Elias's mind tingled with raw energy. He could feel the entity's consciousness probing, testing. Every instinct screamed to flee. But Tira'Lyn held firm beside him. Together, they pushed, guiding the field, redirecting the energy back into containment. It was exhausting. It was terrifying. It was exhilarating. The Starliner groaned. Energy arcs danced across the floor. Crew members scrambled to brace themselves. And then a sudden calm. The humming stopped. Kalrath Prime's presence shrank back into the containment prism, and the crystalline structure pulsed once before dimming to a stable glow. Tira'Lyn slumped beside Elias. "We did it." Elias exhaled, wiping sweat from his brow. We actually did it." Middle 3, the aftermath. The crew cautiously approached. Admiral Ress, a tall, reptilian overseer, hissed. "You have no idea what you just touched. You could have annihilated this sector." "I was just trying to prank him," Tira'Lyn said sheepishly, pointing at Elias. Elias stared at her. "A prank?" Tira'Lyn shrugged. "Well, I didn't think the universe's most feared entity would respond." Ress growled. "You endangered billions. And yet, you contained it. Human. Alien. Somehow, you worked together." Tira'Lyn blinked. "I guess, teamwork." Elias rolled his eyes. "Not exactly the teamwork I signed up for." Yet despite the chaos, there was a sense of awe. Cadets whispered about the human and the prankster alien who had tamed a godlike entity. For once, Tira'Lyn's mischief had a purpose beyond laughs. Middle 4, the real threat. Days passed. The Academy celebrated their miraculous containment, but Elias and Tira'Lyn sensed something wrong. The containment prism pulsed faintly at night, responding to no one's touch. The super-entity within it, Kalrath Prime, had not been destroyed. It had learned. It was patient. And it was watching. Tira'Lyn tapped her fingers nervously on the railing. "You think it's still angry?" Elias rubbed his temple. "It's not angry. It's calculating. It knows what we did. And it's planning." Before they could discuss further, alarms blared across the Academy. Another breach, this time in the sector's outer containment grid. Kalrath Prime was testing its limits. "This isn't over," Elias muttered. "No," Tira'Lyn said, her tail coiling tightly. "And next time, it won't be a game." Climax. Confrontation. The Academy's defense fleet was deployed to contain the outer grid. Elias and Tira'Lyn boarded the containment shuttle, a sleek craft designed to interface directly with the prism. The moment they arrived, the entity projected itself into the air, a swirling storm of energy, soundless yet deafening in its psychic weight. Kalrath Prime's thought resonated in every direction. "You cannot hold me again. You are insignificant." Tira'Lyn gritted her teeth. "We aren't insignificant." Elias took her hand. "We're not alone." Together, they extended their minds into the interface. The prism reacted instantly, glowing like a supernova. Energy arcs coursed through the shuttle. Tira'Lyn guided the flow while Elias synchronized it, their combined will forming a living lock, a psychic cage that held even Kalrath Prime's consciousness at bay.